So welcome to NG Fishing. So as most of you would know who have been fishing for quite a while, back in around 2018, Corda bought out a tackle safe, like their version of a tackle box, which was meant to kind of like streamline the amount of stuff we take, but actually make you more organised. And to be fair, I mean, I bought one of those when they first came out, and it was a really, really good bit of kit, and I really did enjoy using it. And as some of you may have seen in one of my other videos, NGT brought out something similar, and that was this one, which I've still got, still using. I mean, it has been battered and bruised, and it's definitely showing its wear. Just want to give you a sort of a little update on this particular product from NGT. Obviously, compared to my Corda one, which I did actually get rid of in the end because I wasn't using it, and I do prefer this one. And in my other video, I go through that, and I'll share a few points with you now quickly. So one of the points that I would say, the build quality of this is not as good as the Corda one. In terms of one thing in particular, and that is in the seams. If I just show you these parts here, I have had, especially this corner one, if you overfill it, I've had it buckle. Obviously my fault for overfilling it, so all I've done is when it's popped out, just run a line of super glue, making sure you get it in there, and I haven't had that problem since, to be honest. So but when you consider the price of this, the price point of this over the Corda one, actually it is definitely worth it. The mags are really good on it, never had it open up, and again, like I said in that other video, this spot here, where they've reconfigured it really, they've taken a brilliant concept by Corda, and actually I think they have improved on it. You can fit a lot more in this bottom spot, bottom section, like the scissors and stuff. Obviously it's empty because I'm going to show you my new tackle box now, but a great little piece of kit, something that I'm going to keep using. It's just going to go into my barbel bag now really, with just because you don't need to take a lot of stuff when you're doing that sort of fishing. So yeah, it's a really good bit of kit. If you are looking for a tackle box where you're not going to be taking a lot of stuff, definitely check this one out, guys. I think it's about 13 quid posted. I mean, you can't, the Corda one, you're looking at £25 or something stupid. But it takes me on to my next product, which is the main reason why I'm doing this video. I've had a few questions about it, so I thought, you know what, let's order one, let's see what it looks like, and I'm definitely going to use it for my carp fishing. And that is this beast. So if I hold that one there and grab the other one, it's quite a bit bigger. I think just over twice the size. You get two of these and the size of that. It's quite big. It's a bit bigger than I was expecting it, to be honest, even though the measurements are online. But when you actually look at what you've got in here, again, actually I'm surprised they haven't sold more than they have, to be honest, and there's not been anything out there. So maybe you guys that are kind of still on the fence, maybe this video might help you. A very good quality ruler engraved on the front, plastic moulded on there. It really does stand out when you compare it to what's on there. I don't know if you can even pick that up on the camera, but actually I do like to use the tape measure for tying my rigs, and that is almost worn away altogether. Now you can't really get much clearer than that, so hopefully they'll last, because like I said, I do like measuring my rigs out. So that's the front of the box. We'll open it up. So again, the design behind this is using a magnetic system again, like I said, like with that box, like with these type of boxes now. So you open up the main carcass and you can see you can get quite a bit of stuff in here. So if I talk you through this bottom end first, so I've obviously just chucked some of my baiting needles in there and some bits and pieces at the moment, so I'm trying to sort it out. But you've got two large compartments here, lidded, so great for things like your tubing and things like that. Again, really deep as well, like deep compartments. Some smaller compartments over here as well. Things like your tail rubbers and things like that. What I found with the smaller box is you can't actually fit a great amount in there. You'll probably get about 10, which the whole point is when you're going fishing with using one of those is you're not taking everything. How many times you're not planning to snap off 10 times. So, but this one you can fill it up a lot more. Again, you've got your smaller stuff along here, so you can put your swivels in there. So I'll probably have, what I tend to do is I have all my what I class as my hook metal. So things like my bait swivels, the small ones, micro swivels, screws. I tend to group those together, and then in the top one, I tend to sort of group together things like my quick chain swivels, things that aren't going on the hook, if that makes sense. So that's how I tend to do it. But again, it's completely up to you how you want to do that. Again, you've got plenty of compartments there. If you guys buy your hooks in wallets, or I bought a load of these when they went discounted. I bought loads of these. A really, really good hook. I can't believe that they've changed them, to be honest, because I can't warrant spending £6 on a packet of hooks, and I think I picked these up at about £2. So yeah, if you like your hooks in that sort of thing, this massive space here, you can have all your hooks in their wallet still. Obviously you've got spaces for your needles, like I said, scissors. Eventually I'll put my clamp in there for my sharpening stone and whatnot. But again, ample space. So I'm just going to take those out of there, just so they don't go everywhere. So what you can do when you're fishing, obviously you can have it, like that or whatnot. Now there's this plastic section in the middle here. Again, I've not tested it yet because I don't want to chuck all my stuff everywhere. But you basically can cover your bits and pieces up there, and it's supposed to stop it moving a little bit. But again, when you look at that, the clip is mainly for this side. So, but then this is what's really has impressed me, is the fact that I used to have like I said, I used to have a quarter tackle box, I used to have a quarter rig safe. I've still got my chod bin in my bag. Well, actually, I don't even need to take that. I've got one piece of equipment here that stores all my tackle and my rigs at the same time. One of the things that I'm going to try and look at is, I was wondering if, when you take these off, if you can get something like a bait floss or whatever, or maybe I might have a look at some of my braids, for example. See if I can put one of my braids or fluorocarbons onto there. It saves more space in there, but there's more than ample enough space in the bottom to fit those in. So yeah, like you can see there, comes with 5 large winders, great for choddies. So I've got a choddy on here on the small one already, because I like to fish small choddies. So you get the pins. Definitely need to buy some more pins. If you like your small choddies, that's an ideal little way of storing them. So again, you can store choddies on the top if you again, like me, if you like small choddies, or you can store them on the bottom. A great thing for these large winders as well are anything like your lead cores. So I love fishing lead core. So again, once I've sorted out all my stuff, I'll probably have a winder labelled up with about 4 maybe lead cores that would be all my lead clip rigs, and then I'll probably again have 4 on another one of those that would have my choddy or helicopter style rigs. So that would be those. Also gives me ample room, like I said, if I'm fishing, if I want to have some longer choddies. Again, with these, what would be quite useful is Ronnies. A lot of people fish Ronnie rigs, so at the moment, if I can grab it for you, got my chod bin here. It's a bit of a mess, but I'll transfer it all over. But I like fishing a Ronnie rig, and what I quite often do is I make up my Ronnies like so. So I've got swivel, bead. I like to, rather than shrink tube, I do like to use the little Nash kickers. So there you go. That's the hook, swivel, and that's basically, that is ready to go. All I've got to do is clip that on. So again, going back to the new tackle box I'm going to be taking fishing with me. If I take out one of those discs, so I can take one of those round discs, and then I can basically hook in like so, a Ronnie rig hook, and I reckon I could probably get about 8 on there, which means if you're fishing Ronnie rigs and you want to change them, you can have 8 already set up. What I would recommend, don't bait them up. unless you're going to be baiting them up with something like a fake sweet corn or something like that. But yeah, that's a really good idea from NGT, to be fair, just to be able to have stuff all together. Another great thing you can use the giant winders for zigs. So again, if I just go through what I was saying earlier, again, I like fishing small choddies, so the chances are most of these are going to be filled up with chod rigs across the top. I may have one labelled up for Ronnie's. I could have my leg clips, my helicopter rig, large choddies on one of those. That would leave me 2 free, where I could literally have two. I could have a 6-foot zig tied up, a couple of 6-foot zigs on there, and maybe I could have some 12-foots, which would allow me then that flexibility. If it's deeper, I've got 12-foot zig already prepared. Just chop it down to size. Again, on this board, across here again, you can fit your other rigs. So for me, again, probably my boom sections for my Ronnies will go on there. And also I'm a big fan of the slip D rig. So those of you that have watched my videos for a long time, a few years ago I showed like a wafter rig where I was using fluorocarbon and again like a bead and swivel setup. I do still like using that, but for me I've switched over predominantly over to the slip D when I'm fishing a wafter. I think it's just the D that it creates when you're using the correct braid and stuff. I just don't think you can beat it. So there will be a video hopefully coming up soon, again when I've got time, of how I tie the slip D rig, because I do think it's probably one of the better rigs out there alongside the Ronnie. So I tend to choddies for my pop-ups, Ronnies for my small pop-ups. I will use a wafter on a Ronnie, but I do prefer just the small pop-up on there, and then obviously the slip D, you can use it for all, you know, a bit of putting, you can put a pop-up on there, no problem. But there we go guys, that's my first look at this tackle box by NGT. I'm sure you would agree, it is a beast. There's quite a lot of stuff in space in there. You can fit so much stuff in there. I'm looking forward to filling it up, to be honest, and just knowing that when I'm fishing then I've got one thing with everything in. A lot of the craze at the moment with like the Corda stuff, you know, is the compact system, and again I've got some of that stuff and I do think it's really good quality. And when I had the Corda tackle box, I had the compact with the Corda tackle safe and the rig safe in the same thing, but actually, you know, it becomes quite expensive when you start adding it all up, where this piece of kit you can get, if you look around, you can get for under 20 quid, which I think is really good value, considering it could be your one place for all your tackle, your hook lengths, your braids, your marker elastics, everything you could possibly want to take fishing, terminal tackle wise, you can fit in there, no problem whatsoever. And you know, actually could make it even lighter. You know, you could fish everything in there and just take like a shoulder bag with you with that in, as long as you've got your bank stick and a pot, you know, a thing of pop-ups or a bucket with some bait in it, you're ready to go. So there you go guys, that's my first thoughts on it. It's a great little system, definitely worth the money. Have a look in your local tackle shops if they've got them in. If not, you know, there are places like eBay and loads of places you can buy it. I will be putting a link in the description eventually of where you can get this from. Again, a lovely piece of kit. If you have got any questions about it guys, please feel free to comment below. Until the next time, enjoy your fishing.